This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is Friday, November 2nd, 2018. The title of this rant is The Next 4 Days and Beyond. The White House Influence Crumbles. So, the Purveyor of Evil, and that's what he is, only has fear and racism to offer to the American people. Sending 15,000 troops to the border, which is a complete political stunt, and actually making two statements yesterday. One, that they had the right to fire at anyone throwing them rocks that were part of the quote-unquote invasion. And number two, which, a 9-year-old girl, 11-year-old kid throwing rocks, they're supposed to shoot at him with an AR-15. And then the second thing, which again shows an incredible amount of racism, indicating that women are relieved that he's doing this because he's protecting them, which is basically a throwback to the 1940s, 1950s, and 1960s in the Deep South, where women had to be wary of what black men were going to do to them. That is the most racist thing that could come about. Now, in the next 3 days, that's all he has to offer. And we know that China, Russia, and Iran have done a lot of hacking, and I hope that any security agency that finds anything brings that up, because this president has really done nothing to secure our elections in the last 2 years. Plenty of opportunities, but he hasn't done anything about it. Now, after the election, especially if the House goes Democratic, the influence of this White House will wane, and the emphasis will be on other things. This president will go batshit crazy to try and dominate the news. But these are the things that will dominate the news. Is one, the House in Democratic hands, they will have subpoena power. They will go after his taxes. They will have a very thorough investigation of the Russia situation. They will also look at the incredible amount of corruption that's going on in this White House and these agencies. And also look at the president possibly saying, hey, fuck you. We're not going to give you nothing. Again, but these things will be what's running the narrative. Also, Robert Mueller's investigation is going to come back into big swing. I think we haven't heard from him in about 2.5 months. Look at number one, we have a very good idea that the president has either been subpoenaed to speak before a grand jury or to speak before Robert Mueller's office. We also can anticipate that there will be multiple indictments, and I don't see them being necessarily at the top. I see them still being a little bit lower as the noose goes round and round, closer and closer to the presidents. Also, there will be a tremendous exodus of people from the White House, and that'll take the narrative. So, and Summer Zeros, who has charged the president with sexual assault, her case is going to go forward, and he may be must have to testify in a deposition. And all of these things will be the narrative that dominates the news. And this president will do everything he can. He really is a very shallow and a very weak human being. And he will do anything and everything to try and change the narrative. This stuff about changing the 14th Amendment is just one of many things that they're talking about. This White House is just going over anything that they can possibly do to restrict the information that's going to come out after this election. And again, I would hope that everyone votes Democrat. There have been a number of Republicans, very strong Republican conservative writers, former representatives who have basically said, you need to vote Democrat because the Republican Party is the party of Trump, and it is not going to take us anywhere in the future. We have a strong outlook as to how great America can be, but it is never going to be with this president. Vote Democrat and vote straight down the ticket Democrat.